I have seen Atomic Saloon now in Vegas. I have been dying to go for so long. And this show, I mean, typical of Spiegel World, it has it all. I mean, you must love being part of this production, right?
It's very much for crazy people out there that just want to have a good time, that they don't take themselves too seriously. There's a little bit of cabaret, there's a little bit of comedy, and a lot of sexy people. There's a lot of crazy acrobatics and just raunchy content that's just right there for you to enjoy.
Okay, so we're kind of giving like little tidbits as to what your role encompasses, which is some crazy acrobatics, some nudity, but give us the tea. Like, how would you describe the outlaw?
The outlaw is a unicorn. He's transformative. He comes out and he's this big macho guy. Big. I'm super short. And he's this macho guy. He comes in to do his pole act, and he's like flirting with the girls, but he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's a little vain. Does his act, and then later in the show, he comes back and he's just a full blast of rainbows and celebrating life. And he gets almost naked to like the little bits of clothing, the least clothes I've ever worn in my whole entire life, besides being naked, in front of people. But yeah, it's just party celebration. He's the definition of letting go.
I think it honestly really defines like being a member of the LGBTQ plus community, like being this unicorn, starting off being one way, but then coming to terms with yourself and having that liberation and being yourself, like, and you being a member of the community yourself. Do you kind of see a little bit of parallel, like being a member of the community personally and also the journey that your character goes on in the show?
Absolutely. It's about you showing who you are freely, you know? It's about him coming out and showing who he is truly. So yeah, I definitely identify with it. He's just showing who he is. That's a deep meaning of the outlaw for me.
Exactly. No, and thank you for sharing that with me because I am right there with you.
I managed to add a lot of like dance stuff because I was a dancer for many years for Taylor Swift and Katy Perry.
Do you mind if I ask what era of Taylor Swift were you her dancer?
Speak Now tour.
Wow.
Yeah. I was in the Speak Now era.
I have to like do the Swifties justice here. Like, do you have a favorite Taylor Swift story when you were working with her on tour?
It was supposed to be a dry tour because she was just turned 21 and I was 22. So we were very contemporary age-wise. But she was of age. So at one point in one of the cities that we were at, we actually got into the tour bus and we just drank a lot and we were just like being silly and fun. And I tried to do a lift with her, but obviously I'm not the tallest guy. And she is very tall. So we tried to do the lift. I tried to do the lift with her and I literally tried a little bit and my arm, she just fell completely on top of me. And I was like, well, that just happened. Just Taylor Swift just smashing me. Yeah. So yeah, that's a fun story. I got a bunch of stories. She's super cool.
Yeah, that's seriously so cool. And before I let you go, do you mind if I ask if you have a fun Katy Perry story too? Like, what era was that?
Oh my God. So I did the Witness tour. One of my legs flew down and hit her in the hat. So the hat pushed her mouth down and she went to the microphone like, honk, like with her mouth. And she didn't even notice. She just, the day after, I went over to her dressing room and I was like, I'm so sorry that happened yesterday. And she was like, what happened? And it was like, I kicked you in the head and your mouth went like, boom. And she was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. No, you're fine.